Hi, so today's topic is one of the very common topics, that is about my baby's crying continuously. So what am I supposed to do? Why is my baby crying so often? See, now there are multiple reasons for as to why your baby must be crying. The most common reason is hunger. Now see, when the baby is crying out of hunger, there will be some sort of lip smacking that the baby will be doing. There will be something called as a rooting reflex. Now, what is a rooting reflex? Rooting reflex is generally when you try to touch, the edge of the corner of the lips, the baby just tries to move to that end. Okay, the lips try to go to that end. So what happens in general when the baby is hungry and the baby is crying out of hunger, the lips also generally goes to that side. The rooting reflex is automatically. Also, when the baby takes hands in their mouth, that is one of the very common fact wherein the baby is crying out of hunger. Now, the second cause can be a colic pain. A colic pain is something which is very common, and so the colic pain comes around 2 to 5 weeks of the age for the baby, and it usually goes around 3 to 4 months of the age. Now, the colic pain is something where the parents will describe that my baby is crying for more than 3 hours, and it's been more than 3 hours for 3 times a week. So what am I supposed to do? See, please don't go for all this, which our old people have been telling, go for this gripe water and some sort of soothing jeera powder water, all those things. Those are not something that has to be taken. If your baby has such kind of a pain cry, that at that time it is best advisable, please do visit a pediatrician. Also, when the baby is crying immediately after being fed, so that can also be considered as a colic pain in general. Why? Because when the baby is hungry, when the baby is having your milk, what happens? The baby is suckling it too fast and too hard. So at that time, what happens? There's a lot of air that is going inside the baby's tummy, and the baby is not comfortable or is not knowing the fact that how to release that gas. So that is where the baby starts to cry. So these are some of the common things. The other reasons that can cause your baby to cry excessively is usually something which you have tied very tightly around your baby, like you have tied some thread here, you have tied some thread to the leg, this kind of creates a tonic pressure. So when you do such a thing, the baby also cries because of that. So always look for these facts as well. Other reason to as to why a baby will be crying so excessively is you have to look for the diaper. Most common and most often neglected cause is this: when the diaper is wet, when the diaper is full with stools, it is of course uneasy for the baby, but the baby is not able to express it out, so the baby usually always cries. Other reason is when the teething is happening. Now, when the teething happens, which is usually around 4 to 7 months, the baby starts to cry. You can feel it in the gums. When you try to press the gums, right, you can feel it a little hard kind of a thing. Now, that is where the teething is happening. So, that is also again a reason wherein the baby will try to put the fingers in the mouth and press it because he's having a lot of pain. And out of that, he's just crying because he's not able to soothe that pain. Temperature, a running temperature of 100 or more than 100 degree. That is where you have to worry again. You must be thinking that, okay, it's a fever. Please do one thing, consult your pediatrician immediately, give him a paracetamol dose, and also look when the baby is not overwrapped, because if the baby is overwrapped, overcovered, because of overheating also the fever can come. And sometimes, of course, the baby cries just in routine because he is sleepy. So you have to see when the baby's sleeping time is there, and if you are crossing the time in a way that the baby is not able to sleep during that time or is not made to sleep for any reason whatsoever, so that is also a time when the baby will start to cry. So these are some of the very common reasons as to why the baby will be crying continuously. Okay, so I really hope this video has helped you all. Thank you.